going to be having a public hearing. This hearing is to consider the proposed adoption of the revised Lake County Erosion and Sediment Control Rules. Procedure of this meeting is that the hearing is being called to order by myself, John Hamercheck, Lake County Board of Commissioners. This is the first of two hearings that is being held in accordance with Section 307.79 of the Ohio Revised Code for the primary purpose of hearing endorsements and/or objections to the proposed adoption of the revised Lake County Erosion and Sediment Control Rules. The public hearing will be recorded. Will the clerk please read and verify the publication of the news posting, which I believe can be waived with the agreement of this board. Gentlemen, you okay with waiving that?
Yes.
We're good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So with that, we've waived that, so Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hamercheck.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that we were keeping that all in compliance with the law. Okay, so now a representative from the Lake County Soil and Water District will now come forward and comment on the proposed adoption of the revised Lake County Erosion and Sediment Control Rules. And Dan Donaldson, I believe that would be you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Please come forth, join us, sir.
Thank you and good morning. Dan Donaldson, Lake County Soil and Water District. This is a fairly minor update to the rules that the county commissioners adopted back 1999, I want to say. So we've had a couple updates over the years. Some are required by the Ohio EPA and changes in their general construction permit that the whole county is pretty much under. And then some updates just with the way the commissioners are doing business, basically, with these erosion and sediment control rules. This update is fairly minor for the most part. There's just some clarifying language in there, and I'm also going to defer to legal counsel on this, the Lake County Prosecutor's Office. But we've added into these regulations an appeals process to the issuance of stop work orders and denial of approval for an erosion and sediment control plan. So typically we would receive a plan. If it's a complete application and it meets the county's rules, we would approve that plan. And so we've instituted an appeals process for that. I'll defer to legal counsel for any other changes.
Ma'am?
Yes, thank you, commissioners. Yes, as Mr. Donaldson has indicated, the changes to the erosion and sediment compliant control rules were made to Section 6, monitoring for compliance, and this was just to bring our local rules into compliance with what 307.79 says. A review of it revealed that there were maybe a little bit of inconsistencies regarding how we were practicing and what the statute actually said. And we were also required under law to have an appeal process for denial of a permit. So we did incorporate an internal appeal process. The statute does allow people to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas, and that is still an option as well. But now we've created an internal appeal process to handle those matters. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Dan, anything further?
No, nothing further.
Thank you. All right. Moving on, audience members wishing to comment on the proposed adoption of the revised erosion sediment control rules are invited to speak at this time, or an agent may speak on their behalf, after stating for the record their names and address in full. The board requests that each person speak only once, unless adding a statement for the record that is not previously made. So with that, is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the board? Sir?
Yes. Rick Caldwell.
Actually, sir, if you could come to the the recording system can't hear it.
Rick Caldwell. Address is 1535 Villa Grande Drive in Painesville Township. The one thing I wanted to find out is, did we determine that it's legal to deny a permit on a particular house because there's a violation on another property?
I will direct that specifically to legal?
Yes, I can address that, thank you. So the changes that we've made with regard to the notice of violation now is in accordance with what 307.79 states. So under that statute, whenever there is a violation on a parcel, on a lot, we will be taking action specifically with regard to issuing notices of violation on that particular site. So under the law, there's a first notice of violation, there's a 30-day period of time for the owner to cure. If it's not cured, then we issue a second notice of violation, then there's a 15-day period to cure. If it's still not cured at that time, then we will follow the statutory process for issuing a stop work order, or maybe proceeding with pursuing an injunction or some other method that's available under the statute. But we will not be issuing we will not be denying a permit on a site that is otherwise in compliance with the rules.
Okay, that answers the question. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, ma'am. Very good. Anyone else in the audience wishing to address the board? Anybody else? Okay, going a third time. Anyone else? All right. Thank you. The board will now receive any written comments on the proposed adoption of the revised Lake County erosion and sediment control rules. Madam Clerk, do you have anything?
We do not have any at this time.
Dan, are you aware of any? Very good. All right. The Board of Commissioners will not make any decision at this time. A second hearing will be held on Tuesday, December 5, 2023 at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' chambers. Additional written endorsements and or objections may be sent to the clerk of the Lake County Commissioners, 105 Main Street, 5th floor, Building A, Suite 513, Lake County Administration Center, Painesville, Ohio, 44077, until 10 a.m. on Tuesday, December 5, 2023. And if there's no other business to come before us, I will close this public hearing. And Madam Clerk, please note the time.
Noted.
Thank you, ma'am. And with that, we will roll directly into our Commissioner meeting, which is our 46th meeting of the Lake County Board of Commissioners. So we'd like to welcome you for that. Moving on, getting back to our normal routine. Would all those who are willing and able please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investing, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision either by fear or by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority, and may we use in our directions for the common good, and for thy honor and glory. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here. Okay. And we have some guests with us here today. And Matt Armand, you have a few folks here that have earned their 25-year certificates. So, Matt, good heavens, have I lost Matt? Matt, would you care to come up and introduce and recognize our 25-year recipients? Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Today I'm here to recognize various employees for their 25 years of service to the LCDU, but in reality, to the residents of Lake County. Before I move forward, though, in this recognition, I'd like to share a quick anecdote with all of you. Just yesterday, I briefly met with Randy Roethlisberger, who is one of the people being recognized today, and spoke with him regarding my presentation. As Randy is someone who prefers not to be the center of attention, I tried to gauge his comfort level on what I had permission to say. He bluntly advised me that depending on what I say and how much I embarrass him, it could very well result in my termination. I then kindly reminded him that I was appointed by the board and that he has little control over my employment status. He then kindly reminded me that there hasn't been a recommendation yet that he has sent to the board that has been denied. So with that in mind, and in order to retain my employment, my speech has been very methodically drafted and carefully rehearsed. Commissioners, today, as I entered this building and walked down these halls, I began to think of Lake County and those who serve in local government. Certainly, this isn't the biggest county in Ohio. There are many that are much larger in size. There are buildings that are more elaborate, with certain features that may not be found here. However, it's my belief that this county is the best county. Not because of anything tangible. Rather, this institution possesses something far more precious than size or features. And it comes from the heart that Lake County has. That heart comes from the men and women who sacrifice and forego certain pecuniary rewards in order to serve in government. It's because of them, and not because of anything else, that this body is what it is. From those who clean this building, to those who replace water meters, work in our water and wastewater treatment plants, fix main breaks, work in customer service, and who serve in leadership roles. This place is held together, really it is held together, by their dedication, their loyalty, their hard work. They awake every day, like so many in my department and other Lake County departments, with the sole mission of serving the public. It's perhaps the case that no one will ever write a book about them, but they are indeed the heroes of our story, and they represent the great face of this county. Having said that, it is my deep pleasure and my esteemed privilege to recognize 4 of our LCDU employees who have served for 25 years in dedicated service to our department, to the residents of Lake County. The first employee I'd like to recognize is Randy Roethlisberger, our sanitary engineer. Randy Roethlisberger began his career on March 16th, 1998 as a deputy sanitary engineer. He was appointed to the position of sanitary engineer in 2016. Randy is instrumental in the planning and design of water, wastewater, and solid waste utilities essential to the public health and welfare of Lake County. He is a longtime member of the American Water Works Association. He served as past president of the County Sanitary Engineers Association of Ohio and served on the Board of Trustees for the Operator Training Committee of Ohio, where he volunteered countless hours teaching water treatment courses. Randy manages plans, coordinates, and administers all activities of the Utilities Department and serves with the utmost distinction, leadership, and guidance to the citizens of Lake County. Frank Burkholder, who is a water investigator at the West End Service Center. Frank Burkholder began his career on October 13th, 1998 as a meter reader at the West End Service Center. And by virtue of his admirable demeanor and excellent problem-solving abilities, he was promoted to a water investigator with diverse responsibilities. Chief amongst them being his willingness to train and mentor members of the meter reader group and the water investigator teams. He continues to go above and beyond to help resolve customer issues, always in a proficient and professional manner. Michael Spencer, wastewater package plant lead operator at the Gary L. Crone Water Reclamation Facility. Michael Spencer began his career on August 26, 1998, as a laborer at the GLK facility, a path which only through hard work and discipline would lead him to attain an Ohio EPA Class 1 wastewater license, a Class A CDL, and become the package plant lead operator. Mike continues to use his advanced knowledge and operation skills to help train and mentor members of the package plant team. He is always willing to pitch in and assist with various projects within the wastewater department. Finally, Jolene Santee, engineering office manager. Jolene Santee began her career on April 1st, 1998 as an engineering tech. And with her unwavering work ethic, leadership skills, and comprehensive knowledge with all aspects of the engineering office, was promoted to the engineering office manager. She's a longtime member of the American Water Works Association and is a member and served as past director of the Lake County Agriculture Society. Jolene is an integral part of the engineering department and contributes to the development of the utilities organizational culture, and is always willing to share her vast institutional knowledge. With that, Commissioners, it's my privilege, it's my honor, and my duty to recognize them for their outstanding service of 25 years. Again, to Lake County Utilities, but even in a more profound way, to all the residents of Lake County. Folks.
This is the part where usually it's not official until you get handed these things. There's going to be a photo, so.
This
Go on up,
is
take the microphone.
this is the part where, if they'd like, they can say a few words. We'll present them with the certificates and perhaps maybe a photo.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Gentlemen, hey, the floor is yours. We are.
All I got to say is thank you.
Thank you. All right. Randy, all yours. Go from here. Thanks.
So does he get to keep his job? We're doing good?
Debatable. We'll review that this afternoon. But yeah, thanks, Matt, and thanks everybody, Frank and Mike, and unfortunately Jolene's unable to attend today. But you know, my rule as far as following Matt in conversations, I never follow Matt. So that's all I have to say. And thanks for the opportunity for 25 years here and everything I've been given. And just ready for a picture, I think. That's Mike.
Gentlemen, hold on, Frank. You can't go anywhere now.
You guys want to be in it?
At some point there, yeah. Before they run out the door here, How about a round of applause for 25 years of service? As Frank says, hey, we got work to do. I'm sure it's work. You're sitting through one of our inspiring meetings, right?
Well, I think before Mr. Armand leaves, it was wise to change your speech because I know Randy is speak softly but carry a big stick. So I would listen to him up here. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you all. Thank you. All right. So with that, we are in our first public comment portion. Is there anyone to start? Mr. Music.
John Music, 45 Coventry Drive. I just want to talk our sheriffs here and chief deputy. As I was here, I just want to say, and I did talk Tuesday at the trustee meeting in township. As you know, we had that issue 3 on, and it basically goes through to add, and we'll have 24/7 coverage of 2 road patrol deputies. And then today also on the agenda is on number 11 about the boat. And like I have said for many, many years, remember Lake County is a border community. And thing about it is, and we, in my opinion, I mean, does anybody want their taxes? Of course not. But does everybody want police protection? Yes, we do. So it's like everything else, we got to pay for it. I mean, I don't care if you're in a village or a city, you pay for it differently versus a township. So people just got to remember those kind of things. So anyhow, I'm going to speak about this also, and it was mentioned in the work session this morning. But I just want to say the thing about, I mean, in regards to that levy, it is for an automatic recount and so forth, and hasn't been certified yet. I talked to the Board of Elections this morning because it hadn't been on the website. So the elections have not been certified yet, and bottom line is then the recounts will start. So we'll see where it goes, because that issue 3 only won by 19 votes. So I feel good about it, but we shall see. But anyhow, I just want to mention, it was mentioned in the work session also, was that stewardship. It was mentioned. Commissioner, you mentioned it.
Oh, yes.
About me saying it, and I've said it for years, and I always say it. But I got something I got something I added. And the thing about it says, and this came from Merriam-Webster dictionary, and made the simple, and it said, the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. That's the taxpayer dollars. And everybody knows what good means, I hope. But another thing I always believe in, haste makes waste. And the definition is, used to say that doing something too quickly causes mistakes that result in time, effort, materials, etc. being wasted. And I would also include money on that. So I think to make quick decisions not necessarily are the best decisions. And as stewards of taxpayer dollars, we should be making the best decisions as possible. I mean, it's one thing if it's coming out of your wallet, but it isn't coming out of your wallet. I mean, people, and some public official said, well, I pay tax. And I said, sure you do, but you also get a salary, benefits, and all this. I don't get that. So the thing about it is, all I'm saying is it's a big difference there. And lastly, I'm going to go, and I want to thank the sheriff and the chief deputy back there, and Sergeant and Falvey was at the township meeting. And I thank them for their service, because in my lifetime, this is the most important time that we need law enforcement. That no other time that I think we need it as much as we do now. And in my opinion, we don't have enough. And just to build on that, this came from the director of FBI, Ray. He made the comment, he says, border gotaways are a source of great concern for the agency. And as you know, we are northern border. Last time I knew, we had over 80,000 people come across the northern border that we know of. That does include the gotaways. If you don't know what a gotaway is, look it up. But bottom line is, and then also, a senator, was Tuberville from Alabama, I believe he's from, he said he expects a 9/11 attack every few weeks. It's possible. It is possible. We do not know what happens, you know. It's just like our border, like I said, I've been working on the border for some, people just don't know a lot about our border, but I predicted this 20 years ago. In 2008, I made another prediction, and months ago, I predicted something could possibly happen here, a catastrophic event. And now, FBI director has said something, and a bunch of other people. And we, you know, and I know the sheriff back in, and the comment was made, well, we expect the local law enforcement to be the eyes and the ears on the ground because they know more about their area. Well, we need people out there. I mean, it was up to me, I'd have got 10 deputies 24/7, but that's my choice, and I would have paid for it, you know, on my property taxes. Without law enforcement, and since we don't have a military here in Lake County, we definitely need law enforcement. So I am just saying, as this is something that we really need, and we've got to pay attention to it. And I know that law enforcement throughout the country, this isn't just Lake County, it's all over. And like I said, we are a border community. And you just, people don't know. Just like, for instance, I won't get into it, all that detail. Just like the previous administration was in, they used to do DNA testing to make sure, because you always see people coming across with little kids and everything. When they did DNA, which in President now said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. 30% of the people, those weren't their kids. And you know, the drug cartels, and I don't think there's anybody in this room would sell their child to a drug cartel and to let somebody else take them through the border to say, this is my family. And they've asked them, and they say, well, what is your daughter's name? Or they say, is this your dad? You know, and the things, stuff like that. And it's like I said, I don't think nobody in this room would sell. I'm going to sell my kids for $1 trillion. And just remember, as Mr. Pletcher always says, after trillion, because our debt's going up, quadrillion's next, by the way. And then Quinn, and it goes, you know, just like the octo and all that stuff. So just remember this. All I'm saying is that, and just like I was hearing the other day where a veteran got kicked out of a housing so some illegal immigrants could come in. And like I said, I support legal immigration. I'm 100% for it. Only thing I say is that you just do it legally, and I don't think I'm asking too much. So I'm just saying we need law enforcement more than ever here in Lake County, and I'm speaking only for Lake County here now, but Lake County is part of the United States, so we need it in this country, period. So I'm just saying I want to thank Painesville Township and the Sheriff's Department to having SROs and SSOs in our schools and so forth, and on our roads and so forth and so forth. And I just want to thank those two gentlemen and the staff for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Anyone else? Very good. Moving on. First agenda item, Madam Clerk.
In the Engineer's Office, resolution authorizing the Lake County Engineer to prepare and submit an application to the Ohio Public Works Commission, state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute an OPWC agreement for the Blair Road retaining wall and resurfacing project Phase 1 in Perry Township.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gills.
Yes, this is we had an opportunity to apply for Public Works in this round for this particular project, which we know is one of the projects that we need to get done. And we ranked almost right at the top, so we're trying to move this forward, and this will allow me to make a final submission and be in line for the money.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Anything further? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution increasing appropriations in Lake County Department of Utilities Water and Sewer funds.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving final estimate number 5, release of retainage in the amount of $32,846.12 with JS Bova Excavating Incorporated and accepting a 3-year maintenance bond in the amount of $69,606.74 for Division Bank Atwater Waterline Replacement Project 446W 2021 for the Lake County Department of Utilities.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of a second amendment to the water supply agreement and the sanitary sewage system agreement with the Village of Madison related to the transfer of the village municipal waterworks and sanitary sewage system to the Lake County Department of Utilities, Water and Sewer Divisions, and for the assumption by the Lake County Department of Utilities an exclusive franchise within the Village of Madison.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr.
Randy?
President?
Yes, sir.
I just want to say, and I know why you're reaching out to Engineer Roethlisberger to speak on this. It's because in his 25 years of distinguished service to the county, this stands as one of his greatest accomplishments, husbanding this historic investment in the Madison community. And we thank you for seeing this project through from the idea to its completion.
Thank you. Well, we should have partnered him up with Matt this morning. He could have said all those things that Matt wanted to say. So, Randy, I'm gonna add to that. That 25 years, half of it, I think you've been working with Madison there. You were doing this back when I was a councilman there, and I think, you know, if you could just add to this, this is through no fault of anybody. If you want to kind of
Sure, yeah, this is, 2004, I think, is the first time that I met with you regarding this in our conference room next door. This is the second, hopefully the last amendment to the agreement. It simply extends the completion date. Madison Village already executed what they needed to do, and we're all in agreement. We've been working very well together with the village on this project. In the next couple of weeks, we will be presenting the contract for the final phase of this to the board for consideration, and with a completion date of sometime late next summer. We see this happening. So yeah, the COVID actually put a dent in the completion date and the timing and that sort of thing. But we're well on our way. It's all downhill from here, hopefully, and we will see this thing through in the next 8 or 10 months.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. And I have to echo Commissioner Plechnick's enthusiasm for your efforts. This is a long time investment and another example of your diligence and good faith bargaining. Protecting the interests of the county, but being respectful of our municipalities and the end users, that means a great deal. I've been able to enjoy seeing both sides of that table, and you've been a stand-up individual in all those discussions, so that's worth saying.
Thank you.
Commissioner Regovich, anything to add, sir?
It's all true.
Oh, there you go, it's all true. All right, with that, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving final change order number 1 with Express Underground Incorporated for the Glyco 2 Force Main Replacement Contract A, project number 364S, decreasing the total contract amount by $83,553.83.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Randy, anything you want to add to this one?
This is another significant project. This was a bore underneath the Grand River from Fairport Harbor to Grand River. For a force main, a pump station force main, and it's the old force main was well beyond its useful life, and this is creates a pipe that'll last at least 100 years from now. So we're excited to wrap this project up and be done with that.
And again, to that point, there were challenges with the previous pipe. We were doing an awful lot just to keep it in service. This is going to be below any issues with dredging. I know those concerns were floated about, but again, this should be a good 7,500 year. Did I hear you say?
Yes. Yeah.
So there you go. Well done.
Thank you.
And you're saving money, leaving money on the table, so that's good too. All right, with that, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechner.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution certifying unpaid water and sewer sums and administrative charges to the Lake County Auditor.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In Job and Family Services Department, resolution appointing Jacqueline Bongiorno to an unexpired term to the Lake County Workforce Development Board for a term expiring March 14, 2025.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Suzanne, anything you want to add?
There's nothing I want to add, but I believe Corey Bojack is here, and he may want to say a few words about this appointment.
Thank you. Corey, you're hiding in the back there. I'm not saying you're hiding, but you're hidden. How's that? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners. I come before you with a brief yet important update regarding the Workforce Development Board. Recently, Karen Ralston, Human Resources Director at Steris Corporation, submitted a resignation from the board. I'd like to express my gratitude for Karen's valuable contributions over the past few years, and I'd like to. Karen also expressed and thanked us for the opportunity to serve on the board, and expressed her commitment to supporting its mission even after her departure. Importantly, she has suggested another HR director at Steris that could serve as her predecessor, or successor, I'm sorry. In light of her resignation, we are recommending Jacqueline Bongiorno from the Steris Corporation to fill the unexpired term until March 14th, 2025. The Alliance for Working Together, AWT Foundation, has graciously provided a private sector nomination for Jacqueline. Their executive director, Teresa Simmons, at the foundation has provided a glowing recommendation for Jackie. Steris has been a valuable member to the Alliance for Working Together and the community for many years. In her role within the Human Resource Department at Steris, Jackie has demonstrated dedication and leadership for the past 10 plus years. Her team supports over 1,800 managers and associates from across the country, including operations sites, marketing, engineering, clinical, and sales associates and mentor as well. She expresses confidence in Jackie's commitment to the development of individuals and our community. Given her extensive experience, Jacqueline's service on the Workforce Development Board is expected to bring significant benefits to the county and its citizens. To facilitate this appointment, I've prepared the necessary documents, including a single resolution, private sector nomination, recommendation from the Alliance to Working Together, and the formal resignation from Karen Ralston for your review.
Excellent. Thank you for that background. Gentlemen, any further discussion?
I'd just like to say that I don't know that a lot of people understand how many board positions that sit out there, and these are people that are largely unpaid and do this out of the kindness of their and to give back to the community. So I appreciate anybody who's willing to step up and take that role.
Well said. We have many true servants out there. Commissioner Pletchnik, anything to add, sir?
I would just second Commissioner Regovich's sentiment that we thank those who have served and those who are stepping up now to serve on our Workforce Development Board. It is a non-paid position, but it's absolutely critical. 20 years ago, we talked about creating jobs. Now the mission is to connect jobs with job seekers, and so workforce development is really the most important work. So thank you for engaging with that board and continuing to make Lake County a center of workforce development, a real hub where a business can come here and actually fill positions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers, date of warrant December 8, 2023, in the amount of $89,404.49.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution authorizing payment to various Lake County police prosecutors for the second half of 2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution reappointing Christopher P. Tucci to the Lake County Law Library Resources Board for a new term expiring December 31st, 2028.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. President,
Sir.
as a former library trustee for Willoughby East Lake, I recognize the importance of serving on a library board, and we certainly want to thank Magistrate Chris Tucci for donating his time through 2028 to this very important cause.
Well said, sir. Thank you. All right, nothing further. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing the Lake County Sheriff to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Watercraft to obtain matching funds of up to $35,000 for Marine Patrol for the year 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. President,
Sir.
the sheriff is on the lake too, so behave.
Yay. Sheriff, anything you want to answer, or we good? Okay, and with that, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving advertising for requests for proposals for insurance broker services for the Lake County Public Safety Center project for the Lake County Board of Commissioners. Proposal opening December 21st, 2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of a contract with Train US Incorporated, procured through Omnia Partners on behalf of the Lake County Department of Buildings and Grounds for HVAC improvements for the Lake County Courthouse in an amount not to exceed $144,245.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $4,910,874.63.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hey, Joel, quick question. The money for the engineer's office, that's baked into this, right? That's in this. Payne Road? Help me out. We've got the last tranche 3 funding.
That would be resolution 17.
17. Okay, transfer. Okay, just want to make sure that it's all baked in and where it falls in. Okay, thank you. All right, there's no further discussion. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $3,905,042.41.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution transferring cash and appropriations within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
And discussion. And that project for the engineers,
I gotta check on it, but I will.
I just want to make absolutely sure that this is the meeting where that money was appropriated.
I will
Okay, I just want to be very clear on that.
I can't do it right this second.
I get it, but I just want to make sure that it was in all these details. And folks, please understand, there's a lot of, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 with a bunch of detail here, so. Anyway, if there's no further discussion, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes. Okay, moving on to departmental reports. Utilities.
Thank you, Commissioner. As everyone knows, we had a significant snow event on Tuesday. That impacted some of our waste haulers that bring their waste to the landfill. At their request, we are we're going to open the landfill on Saturday to commercial traffic in order to accommodate those haulers, and actually open until like 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Gotcha. No, appreciate your flexibility on that. All right, anything else for utilities? Thank you. Moving on, Job and Family Services.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just wanted to express my thanks quickly for everyone who supported the Sub-Zero Mission Stuff the Bus event that took place yesterday at Job and Family Services. Thank you to our employees, other county employees who stopped by Job and Family Services, and members of the public who actually drove through our parking lot, bringing monetary donations and warming items for the homeless. It was a great event, and we appreciate everyone's generosity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And County Administrator Jason Boyd. You can do your encore performance from this morning.
Okay. Good morning, Commissioners. Before I get into my Public Safety Center update, want to let you know that the Finance Department, Joel, Sarah, Terry, Donna, et cetera, have the temporary general fund budget on the floor for your review with the anticipation of consideration this next week for the temporary general fund budget. If you have any questions, let us know. A lot of thanks to the finance crew and the work they've done the past 30 days, everybody involved on the fourth floor. So the binder is here, and we plan on passing that next week with anticipation of a full year's budget being passed in early January. Regarding Public Safety Center update, we had another brief work session this morning. I gave an update on the kind of the planning. We still hit our marks. We had a 2-hour meeting yesterday. The sheriff's team, once again, a deep dive into the floor layouts of level 0, i.e. the basement, and level 1. I can defer to the specifics to the sheriff's team, but once again, a great detail-oriented process, looking at not only today but tomorrow as the movement of inmates, food, etc. We continue to hit our schematic design benchmarks. We got the schematic design package November the 20th. Err on my part, the pricing then comes in 3 weeks later. So in 2 to 2.5 weeks, we'll have the schematic design pricing from HOK. We'll have schematic design pricing from our contractor as well. So that's going as planned. I had a second meeting yesterday on the jail, just looking, a year or less than a year down the road when we're actually moving dirt. Where do fences go? Where do cranes go? Where's laydown areas? All the things that people who aren't in the discipline, including me, don't think about probably until it's too late, and these guys are already on it. So in Jason's opinion, things are going really, really smooth and on time. Schematic design will be completed near the end of the year, and we'll transition to what I'll call step 2 or phase 2, which is detailed design, where those floor plans, etc., engineering will be elevated to the next level of detail, which and then in turn turn into construction documents in the spring of 2024. Additionally, talked this morning in the work session about a general fund balance policy. Is a document I discussed last week. You have a draft for your consideration and review. Took some examples from other governmental bodies throughout the state of Ohio, focused in on a county-based document that we shared with the prosecutor's office, Amanda Gordon, and et cetera. We think that's a very fair, diligent document that's sustainable and provides best practices for accounting and financial management in Lake County. And I'd be happy to answer any questions on that over the next week or so.
Gentlemen?
Mr. President.
Sir.
I just want to commend our county administrator for playing through the pain. A lot of people don't know that Jason also serves as one of the coaches for the basketball team at Lake Catholic High School, and we certainly support him in that public service. The coaches had a very intense basketball game to teach their younger players how it's done, and my understanding is while Jason suffered an injury, he broke a rib. He said, I got 23 more, that's fine.
That's fine.
He finished the game, and he's continuing to work hard for Lake County. So I just want our residents to know about your toughness and your public service to Lake Catholic.
Yeah, I'm not 17 anymore. So thank you.
No, and as long as we're giving compliments, Jason, I got to say, you on Monday when things were going sideways around here, you again working from home, but leadership starts at the top. I want to thank you. I want to thank Mark Iafalese from our Buildings and Grounds, the Buildings and Grounds team. We knew that we were going to be needing the warming shelter, which is the old county engineer's office, a former barracks and office facility, the old Nike site. Things were a little bit sideways. There was a little kerfuffle over there that needed to be addressed, and I have to personally bear witness to the professionalism and the commitment of the Buildings and Grounds team. I want to thank our engineer's office, Tracy. She was there in the late hours of the night and very early the next morning helping to untangle a very complicated web of how the heck did any of this happen. But our homeless were cared for. We were able to open it up and keep things safe. And I think it's fair to also remind everybody that the homeless situation in Lake County is not just a Painesville City problem. We all need to work together. Lake Trans stepped up. They were gathering and transporting folks to keep them out of the inclement weather. There was a lot of good things, and I think it shows the character and commitment of the administration and the staff here. And Jason, again, it starts at the top.
Thank you.
So well done, sir, and well done to your team.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else for Jason? Now, let's not pat him on the back too hard. We've already violated HIPAA talking about their ribs. So let's not go too much more. All right, Madam Clerk.
I guess I wanted to mention that next week's commissioner meeting is going to be held on Tuesday, December 5th at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Legal.
No report.
Thank you, ma'am. County engineer.
I'm going to pull a Randy and say no comment.
There you go. See, you're learning from some of the best there. All right, that brings us to our old business portion of the meeting. Any old business come before the board? Any old business? Hearing and seeing none, moving on to new business. Any new business?
Mr. President.
Oh, but he got in the nose there, so go ahead, Mr. Regovich.
I'd just like to put a shout out to, this weekend is the high school football championship games, and we have a couple of Lake County teams that are still alive. Congratulations to the one that didn't make it this far, Menor and Riverside, but Perry Pirates for the first time are playing Friday to the opportunity for their first state title, as well as the Kirtland Hornets. I personally want to give a shout out to the St. Ed's Eagles, my nephew's last high school game there, and they will be playing tomorrow night, and he will be leaving for college in January. So he'll be going to Northwestern to play football. So good luck to them. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there this week. I was there the last two games because I have swimming events to attend.
There you go. Very good. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Plechnik.
Mr. President, I was just going to thank our colleagues for the beautiful Christmas decorations, holiday decorations. It's wonderful to begin celebrating the holiday season together in Lake County, and I look forward to all the many events in Mentor, Fairport Harbor, Willoughby Hills, where we're going to be celebrating the holidays together.
Very good. I see under the tree there's a big binder book that says budget for 2024. No? Oh, okay. All right, any other new business? I do have one. Again, this Friday's NOACA board meeting. It's essential that we are all present, and if we can't be our alternates, there has been some controversy and I believe misunderstandings relating to some of the activities that we've been diligently working through, and I think it's important that we are all present or we have our representatives there. And I think we should also reach out to Ben Capel to make sure that our Lake Tran representative will be there so that all of the outer counties are properly represented.
I'll reach out to the engineer.
Yeah, Jen, you're closer. You want to reach out to him? Okay, so we're all in agreement. We will all be there, and we'll get a hold of Ben and make sure he's going to be there. Okay, so if there's no other new business, we will move on to our second public comment portion. Mr. Massey.
Brian Massey, 8196 Rainbow Drive, on behalf of Lobbyists for Citizens. As I interact with government employees, I want to make sure that when they're doing a great job, that I recommend it and I praise them. I'm here to start out by saying I'd like to say thank you to Nina Germano of the prosecutor's office for a very professional approach in answering my questions and solving the issue I had for a public records request from the clerk of court. So thank you very much for that. I'd also like to thank a young lady by the name of Jessica, I'm sorry I don't have her last name, of the clerk of court's office, who, when I went there to file for a civil protection order, she was very nice, very professional, and very accommodating. So I want to give a shout out to her also. And Commissioner Hamerchuk, I'd like to give a shout out to you. I don't mean to embarrass you, but I appreciate you going above and beyond the call of duty for a commissioner for what the work you did for the homeless. So I do appreciate that very much. And it will, unfortunately it goes unrecognized, but I want to make sure that the people know that. I wanted to make the commissioners aware that my friend and Christian brother Leonard Gilbert and I spoke at the state capitol to the Ways and Means Committee. We had heard that they were going to be discussing a new piece of legislation regarding property taxes called 7070, and that is the thrust of the legislation was to for those that are 70 years of age and have an annual income of $70,000 or less, they were planning to freeze the property taxes. Although that's not ultimately, going to solve this, the solution for our seniors, it is a step in the right direction, and we wanted to provide proponent testimony. The other benefit for it, I was able to, Chairman Romer asked me, about lobbyists for citizens, so I had the opportunity to tell him how we started and what really our goals are as far as there is. As I understand, when I was talking to the Tax Equalization Board, when I was trying to get more details on House Bill 920, trying to understand how it works, they commented to me that, down at the state capitol, there's an awful lot of special interest. Everybody's got a lobbyist. The only one that doesn't have a lobbyist are the citizens. So that's how we came up with the name, and that after our proponent testimony, there were several state reps came up, very kind. I gave them my business card, and they asked if we could provide other proponent testimony regarding property taxes. So since we have now made some inroads with the Ways and Means Committee, we are going to, as I talk about some of the things here, we're going to go back to the state to see if we can provide some information that they may not be aware of what is happening, and it may not only impact Lake County, but all of the other counties in the state. That brings me to the second item, and this is not meant to be any slam against Prosecutor Colson or Auditor Galloway, not at all. But there is an issue that the Budget Commission has been a topic that has really interested me, because they are supposed to be the watchdogs, as I understand it, for the taxpayers, so that there's no excessive taxation being collected. And unfortunately, because of Supreme Court rulings, our Budget Commission, they're really hamstrung, and they're really just a rubber stamp. They no longer can reduce property taxes. I will... But as I was, starting to write to the Ways and Means Committee about having them address the Budget Commission, even if they have the responsibility for it, I would assume they do. I noticed that there is a conflict of rulings that Prosecutor Colson has made, a conflict in my mind anyway, and that has to do with the local government funds and the role of the Budget Commission. The local government funds, as I'm sure the commissioners are well aware, but probably those at home are not aware, that the state has various taxes that they collect from the county, from the people in the county. The money goes to the state, and then the money is then redistributed by the state to the counties, and it is distributed through that local government funds. There is a statutory method for the distribution, but the Lake County got together, I think it was 1980s or so, or maybe before, that there's what they call the alternate method. All of the municipalities got together and decided how the government funds would be split. Well, I find out that there is since 1982, Prosecutor Colson expressed an opinion that said that the distribution of those funds are I don't know if the word was illegal, but it was improper. Maybe that's a better term.
I think invalid might be a word you're looking for.
Invalid, thank you. And he was suggesting, and in his opinion, that the Budget Commission should go back to the statutory method. I'm not sure where that is in the whole process as far as, who ultimately makes the decision. I'm sure it's probably not the commissioners, it's probably the Budget Commission itself. I did write an email to Auditor Galloway asking, will we go back to the statutory method, or are we going to not follow Prosecutor Colson's opinion that it should go back to the statutory method and just use the alternative? So I have not heard that. But that is one thing. But then the second thing is on the Budget Commission being the watchdogs, Prosecutor Colson provided a ruling that said, because of a Supreme Court ruling, once the voters have voted on a levy, outside millage levy, that is, that the Budget Commission cannot reduce that. So on one hand, I'm trying to say that the Budget Commission is following the prosecutor's ruling on not adjusting the outside millage, but as of right now, my understanding is they are going to stick with the alternate method. It just seems like an inconsistency, and I'm just wondering if there's any input. Because what I will do is, I will go back to at the state level, and maybe that's where the problem is. Maybe there needs to be a better refinement in the Ohio Revised Code so that it better documents what the role of the Budget Commission is all about. So that, moving on to the next item was the sexennial revaluation. I've done a lot of research, on this, and just as they've experienced in Geauga County, Lake County residents are going to they're going to experience a pretty big shock coming up in the 2024 revaluation with the tax collected in 2025. I did provide the commissioners with my calculations on the how much the county will benefit from this. And as you well know, that this has to do with inside millage, which is unvoted millage. So the taxpayers have no say in this at all. It's just going to happen automatically unless our elected officials step up and say, well, wait a minute, we've got to do something for our taxpayers. So what I find out in the inside millage, we've got 1.0 for the county, and Lake Metro Parks has got 0.1, I believe it is. They're going to benefit about $173,000 without a vote of the taxpayers. So what I will do as a representative of the citizens of Lake County, I'm going to notify the board of Lake Metro Parks and ask them to forego collecting that windfall. So I'm here to also ask the commissioners for the $1.7 million approximately, and this is at 30%. It may be as high as 35%, I'm understanding from the auditor, but I've used 30% in the numbers. There's $1.7 million that in 2025 that will be coming to the county without a vote of the taxpayers. So I'm asking you to consider waiving that $1.7 million. One last thing that I want to tell commissioners that Mr. Gilbert and I, we will be refocusing our efforts on education. I am extremely concerned what I see about the proficiency scores in all of our Lake County schools. The math scores are absolutely abysmal, and I am shocked that taxpayers and school boards are accepting this proficiency in the 40, 50 percentile. It's just not acceptable. And so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on homeschooling. I'm not sure that we can save public education. That's not, I know the commissioners can't do anything. I'm telling you what we're going to focus on. Case in point, let me just give you, I think they've lost their moral compass, and I'll give you an example. Riverside School has Miss Amy Zern spoke on behalf at the taxpayers at a school board meeting where she was mentioning that there is a bathroom issue in Riverside. And it's been going on not just for a few months, it's been going on, as I understand, for decades. And I'm hearing from taxpayers that have children in the school. Children are afraid to go to the bathroom at Riverside High. In the school, some of the bathrooms are closed. So rather than having the school board address this problem, I heard at the last school board meeting that they're thinking about replacing the outdoor running track. I sent an email to Mr. Platko and I said, what's the outdoor running track going to cost you? $500,000. So it's more important for the Riverside School Board to spend $500,000 on a rubberized outdoor running track than securing the safety and privacy for these young ladies in the bathroom. It is not acceptable, and I'm calling everybody out on it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, there's an awful lot there, gentlemen. Anything you want to add or comment on? Okay, well, and I guess I will. On the inside millage, I think it's well known that I have publicly said I believe that's the gas pedal that we control as commissioners. We're the taxing authority. I know there's a lot of formulas that determines taxable valuation, but I like to keep things in very simple terms. If there's a 30% change on the input, there's going to be a 30% change on the output. I like to keep things simple. The county is entitled to collect 2.1 mil. We collect 1.0. We're leaving more than half on the table. I believe that's real and substantial. I've said before, and I'll say again, I believe that we need to be leaders and look to mitigate the harm that's going to be coming to our property owners. I still say sales, or little Freudian slip there. Property tax is a wealth tax. Sales tax is consumption. People who have earned and saved and built value in their homes just by holding on to them should not be penalized. I think we have a tremendous opportunity. Our legislature has taken this matter up. I believe they're trying to do some things, but we can commit to doing something that refutes, turns away, rebuffs windfalls. This is an opportunity. I like to keep things in very simple terms. If I could give some analogies here, if we're looking at 1.0, that's effectively 1.3 mil, so every tenth of a mil brings in about $600,000. My math says it's about 1.8 million-ish. I think, Mr. Massey, you were saying 1.7, so we're at least in the ballpark. But that number represents, as an example, the amount of money that our Lake County Narcotics Agency operates on. It's about half of what our crime lab operates on, and it's about half of what our senior citizens levy operates on. So just to put things into perspective, that is how much control we have. But something that hopefully I can garner some support here that hasn't been talked about, and I think should be talked about, asset classes. We've got an awful big bump on residential. There were a number of people buying properties over asking price, and now people who never had their home on the market, who have been in it aging in place, are now facing incredible increases in the value of their property, even though they plan on staying there. And maybe you're wondering why I'm saying asset class. Office space is not keeping pace with this inflation. And the people who own those type of facilities have really good attorneys who are going to be lobbying against any increased values assigned to that. Our commercial properties, same. Industrial, that one's probably going to be tracking. But there's a number of asset class discussions that's not entering the public discussion. I'm left wondering why. I realize this is all incredibly complex, but any opportunity we have to get this into the conversation, I think we should, because this burden will then fall more heavily to stabilize the inside millage revenues on our residential. That asset class is going to be hit the hardest of all. And I think that tax burden should be addressed. A lot of this is a direct result of inflation eroding buying power. Some people are saying that inflation is starting to slow. I would contend it is stabilizing. That still does not take back the damage and harm and loss of buying power from that. So I'm hoping that due consideration will come to doing that, taking a leadership role, being strong on this issue, and just lead from the front. I know the legislatures are looking at this, but we have an opportunity, and I think we should exercise that opportunity at the earliest and get this addressed on some level. So, Mr. Massey, you'll forgive me if I don't address all your other points. I think you made a number of them that have been talked about previously. Thank you, sir. So is there anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Bishop. Good morning, sir. Thank you.
Commissioners, greetings. It is a blessing to stand here one more time. Commissioner Amachek, in this world that we live, so many could rise up to be a brilliant statesman, an eminent theologian, an authoritative leader, but these sometimes could be men that can improve the world with their intellect and social graces. But you came for Thanksgiving to speak for us, to give a blessing about Thanksgiving, and I just want to say thank you that you came, and we had 24 churches represented. I tell my churches, don't come all at one time because the place we are will be too small, but you came. But I had another problem, and the problem that I had, I needed someone to help me to be a Santa, and one of my assistants said to me, why don't you address to one of the commissioners? Maybe they will help you out. And then my assistant called Commissioner Plechnik, and Commissioner Plechnik said, yes, I will do it. Commissioner Plechnik, thank you so much, because this is important. Children are very important to me. The greatest man I ever met in this community really is, his name is Rano Colvin, great man. Together, myself and him, we started Children of Incarcerated Parents. And I used to go from here to many jails around Ohio, and I used to take children with me, and I asked the jail, can I bring children to meet the parent? And believe it or not, they'll say yes, and I will go and bring the children. When I'm taking the children, they were very sad, and when they're coming back, they were so happy and extremely happy. So I just want to say thank you to Rano Colvin that together that we start this great program. I like this community. I love it. I thank God for it. We have a great city. We have a great sheriff department. As I said recently, we have a great sheriff, because I live here for 40 years. Each one of the sheriffs that we have do great work, and the police, the sheriff, and I believe I took, they stopped me, 2 times in 40 years, and I say thank you for stopping me, because you need law enforcement. Without law enforcement, you can do nothing. I remember that for some people that need help and can't get help yet, I tell them, like Jesse Jackson tell me some years ago, we met in Cleveland. He said, keep hope alive. If a person learn how to be patient, you will accomplish great things. And that's what I see. When I first came here, I had a family that was shooting, that stopped. We give God the praise for that. People used to come from everywhere and come to this city. That stopped. Because if you come to the city, you know what? You're going to get in trouble. So you better stay where you are. And if you don't want to get in trouble, just call Bishop Mabel. I'll help you out and show you how to stay away from trouble. I'd like to say thank you to all of you. I'd like to say thank you to everyone that take time for 2023 and working together. 2024 is coming. It's going to be the very best. We serve a great Almighty God. You have it here itself. Otherwise, I will not say it. In Isaiah 6:8, it says, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? I did answer, here am I, Lord, send me. and I'm here, and I give God the praise. And I praise the three of you. I thank God for the three of you. I like to see the way you work. And practically all of you cannot be one yes, but you work together. And I strongly believe that I've been here, and quite a number of people said, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. I understand that this is a great America. But I'd like to tell the world today, we have presently 3 great commissioners. You keep the best you have, because you never know what you're going to have next. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. I'm going to say thank you for giving Commissioner Pleshing an opportunity to be the jolly old soul and the generous man. And it begs the question, Beamer going to be at your side? We've seen him dressed up for Christmas.
That'll be up to the bishop.
Yes, 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 yes. That will be perfect.
There you go. And you know, there's this famous movie, Elf. Think
I
about
heard of it.
You could have a role in this. I could be Ebenezer. What do you think? That's a whole nother story. Excellent, excellent. Bishop, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Anyone else? All right, very good. Moving on, we do have a request for executive session. The purpose will be personnel employment. There will be no business to be conducted afterwards. Is there a motion for the reason so stated?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner